Hi, broadcasting not live from a small town between Guadalajara and Tequila, Mexico. I'm Bill the Geek, and this is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. On the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, we make videos about all things Mexico, and we try to share with you the joys and the benefits of moving to and living in Mexico. Today we have a special guest, and her name is Terri. And she's just moved to Mexico maybe a year and a half ago, and she's going to share with us many of the things that she encountered moving to Mexico. Terri is a very interesting person. She's meticulous in her decision-making processes, and she's going to tell you many different things. She started off in one city, then she moved to Ajijic, what she does for fun in Ajijic, and many other things. She's going to tell you how she planned her move so she wouldn't have any problems when she got here. She's going to talk about what the immigration process was and how she planned all that out so she wouldn't have any problems in Mexico. She's going to share with you what type of jobs can you have down here working online and earning money in the United States while living in Mexico. Sure, Terri had some doubts. Even though her plan was good to go, she had some doubts, some things she was thinking about. Well, maybe I'm not going to move to Mexico. How did she deal with that? She's going to tell you about what family and friends thought about her moving to Mexico and what doubts they put in her mind and how she dealt with that. She's going to tell you how she works in the United States and lives in Mexico also. Terri's going to talk about being a single woman moving to Mexico and living in Mexico. I'm going to apologize up front for my video. Terri's video is perfect, but you're going to see that my video from my webcam came out kind of fuzzy. I think it's my internet connection. I'm out here in the country, but my audio is good, but my video at times will be a little blurry, and I'm sorry. So if you're thinking about moving to Mexico, where to live in Mexico, why live over here and not over there, you want to watch the entire video, and Terri's going to give you some great tips. You will not be sorry. Let's meet Terri. Okay. Good morning, Terri, and thank you so much. We're so happy to have us with you today. And we just wanted people to meet you, and you could share some insight on what it's like to leave the United States and move to Mexico. Can you still hear me okay?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. So let's get started. Where are you from, Terri?
I moved to Mexico from the Atlanta metro area.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
where have you lived in the United States?
North Carolina, that's my home state. Maryland, D.C., Louisiana, Ohio, and Georgia.
Okay, so you're from North Carolina? That's your home state?
Yes.
Where?
I was born on the coast of the Carolinas in a town called Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Near Greenville. Most people can, if they've never heard of Washington, most people have heard of Greenville. It's not too far from Greenville.
Okay. And have you lived in other countries before?
No,
Have you visited other countries?
just the Caribbean.
Okay. That's a country. Okay. And where have you lived in Mexico?
I started in Guadalajara. I did a month in Guadalajara and then Ajijic.
Okay. Uh, and where do you live? Where do you live now?
I'm in Ajijic.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
I'm coming up on my year anniversary in August.
Oh, 1 year in Ajijic. And why did you move from Guadalajara to Ajijic?
Well, Ahihi to me is like a soft landing. When I lived in the Guadalajara area, I was in Zapopan in the Valle Real. I'm sure I'm butchering that, but for a month I never heard English. I didn't hear any
Okay.
but Spanish. So to kind of ease into the transition, I chose Ajijic because, English is more widely spoken here.
Okay. Okay. And folks, I'm looking at Terry on one side of the screen, then I've got a computer over here on this side, and I got my questions over there, so excuse me. Uh, uh, Terry, what do you like most about living in Mexico?
For me, I would say the intangible quality of the country. I know a lot of people reference the food, the people, things like that. But the intrinsic intangibles of this country to me are wonderful. So, yeah, it's about the people, but Mexico is like you live in the moment here. People don't live in the past, they don't live in the future. People live in the moment and they enjoy life. And I like that.
Okay. And can you expand a bit on what you like about Mexico, the intrinsic qualities? Can you go off on that a little bit? I know you can.
Well, I mean, it's everything. I mean, it's the beauty, it's the people, yes, the food, the weather. It's just a different vibe, a different feel that you get when you get here. It's that kind of feeling where you feel like, man, this feels like home, and you just don't want to leave, you know, because it's not the hustle and bustle like in the United States. In the United States, it was a lot of hustle and bustle, and people are wound up so tight, and the stress, and it takes away from the quality of living. And here, it's just different. Now, if you go into a major city, if you go into Mexico City, yeah, you got traffic, you got hustle and bustle. You go into Guadalajara, you got traffic, you got hustle and bustle. But even still, it just feels different.
Okay. 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 Let's see. Oh, okay. What would you tell single women your age about moving to or why to move to Mexico? Because that's I think that's very adventurous for women. I know.
Yeah,
I mean, I've been here 20 years, and I know many single women that live here and that have lived here
yeah.
for like a long time. Uh, how's it going being a single woman living in Mexico, Ajijic, Guadalajara? How's that going?
I mean, it's going great. I love it. I would tell them to trust themselves, and just step out on faith and do it. It's not as difficult as it seems. If they can think about a challenge that they've had in their life that they've overcome and how it felt after that challenge, I would say moving to Mexico is easier and more fulfilling. So, just do it if that's what you want.
Okay. Hmm. And I know that I make videos that helps my income. I have books on Amazon that helps my income. I got a little government money coming in that helps my income.
Yeah.
Uh, what do you do to pay your rent and buy food?
I work for myself. I have two things. I work for myself online. I'm growing my own business online. And I also travel back to the United States to work on projects there. So I'm not retired yet. I'm on my way. I'm getting there, but I'm not retired just yet.
And you're very humble about what you do, because folks, Terri is she subscribes to my channel, and sometimes she visits us when we go live on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. And I'm not going to say what her screen name is, but we've been communicating for some time. And also, we talked yesterday for about 2.5 hours, and she was telling me all about what her job was. And she said, "Oh yeah, I just went back and had a project that was with and I was working with Sissy Spacek, and what's the guy's name?
Dustin Hoffman.
Dust,
Dustin
Dustin
Hoffman.
Hoffman. Oh, okay, so she goes, she stays here and lives her life, and then she goes back in the United States into it's like movie land, right? I mean, you're a specialist on a certain type of movie thing. Can you tell us a little bit about that? About because I didn't understand it yesterday. You said something about I'm in transportation on the
Yeah,
set.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm not going to go into. I don't like talking about it, so I won't go into
Uh-huh.
particulars. But yeah, I work in that industry.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
And uh like I've been working online out of Mexico for 17 to 20 years.
Hmm.
Uh and we talked about this a little bit yesterday. For
Hmm.
people that need to pay their rent, to buy
Hmm.
food,
Yeah.
what people that move down here, can they do that? Can you get a job in Mexico, or uh, do you have any suggestions for people, or do you have an idea of the prime person who is ready to move to Mexico, or what you can do to get ready to move to Mexico and earn some money while you're here?
Well, people have a few different options. If a person is with a company that has international presence, for example, and let's say they have offices here in Mexico, they could possibly get a work visa, if they can negotiate that with the employer. I met a lady here when I was going through, which we'll get to that um, in the questions, but I met a lady here who is from Chicago, the Chicago area. I believe she's from the Chicago area. And that's what she did. She negotiated, especially after the pandemic, with people working from home. And so some people went back into the office, I guess, but others, are probably still working from home. And so she cut a deal with her employer to continue working at home. And since I'm working at home, she's like, well, I can work anywhere. I just need internet. So she came to Ahi, she said, with her flip flops and a bag, and she's going to sell her stuff in the United States, and she's in Mexico now. So you can, people can make it happen if they really want to. They can make it happen. But the work visa, that's one way. Or if you're with a company in the United States and you have that capability, whereas you can work from home and it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you have the internet, you can travel, you can move around, you can get out of the country if that's what you want to do. Um, Another option, of course, online. If you have your own gig online, you can do that, bring it with you. So there are options. People really have to think outside of the box and get creative.
Okay. Something that comes to mind for me, I know this is an interview and it's all about Terri, okay? But uh, but something that comes to mind for me, if I was a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a specialized attorney, I'd be
Hmm.
gone. I'd be
Oh, yeah.
down here.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, for sure. So, anybody out there who's considering this, man, there are options. You just gotta, sit yourself down, focus, come up with a plan, put things into action, and make it happen.
Please leave a comment. Tell us what you think. What videos would you like to see? How can we do things better? And if you like the video, please click the like button and think about clicking the subscribe button. And uh, uh, Terry's very precise. And I asked her to do this interview, and she says, "Okay, well, send the plan over. What's the plan? Okay." And then I sent her all these questions. She says, "Okay, I can go with that." But then she wanted to call yesterday just so we get to know each other, and you know,
Yeah.
but I kind of helped Terry out a little bit with my channel, and she
Yeah.
learned some things from the channel. And then I gave her a reference for where you live, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And if you're looking for a rental and you need a reference, you can contact me. But what you, you being so meticulous, and this question is not on the list, but going from the United States to here, as meticulous as you are, and you just like things to be right.
Mhm.
How did you plan? I mean, when you're moving somewhere, you got to make sure your money is right. You got
Mhm.
to know you kind of want to live here. You start out in Guadalajara, then you adventure to Ajijic. I mean,
Yeah.
how did you plan that out, or what suggestions do you have for people so that they don't run into a nightmare and it's not a good experience? What advice do you have, or what did you do to prepare?
Well, I never wait until the last minute when I make big decisions. That's just part of, who I am as a person. But I started about a year out, approximately, doing my due diligence. Um, I did a lot of research online, reading a lot of things. I got onto the YouTube platform. I started watching videos, listening to others, found your channel. I started listening to you. Um, and just really, and as important as that information is, people have to also remember that the most important ingredient in all of the research you do and the due diligence that you do for anything in life is yourself. You have to understand and know yourself. What are your tolerances? Is this going to be a problem for you? And you may think, well, I want to go so bad, I'll deal with that. But can you really deal with it? Because I vacillated a little bit because I was like gung ho and I'm like, yeah, this is this is this is what I'm gonna do or whatever. And then I would bump into something that was like, whoa, I don't know if I can do that. You know, One of the things, for example, it's kind of silly now. When I started learning about the septic system in Mexico, and it was like, well, the flushing, you don't flush it. I'm like, well, wait a minute, you don't flush. What's up with that?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Something small like that can make a world of difference to some people. And, just whatever those little things are, you need to learn and kind of understand what those things are before you get here. And it's what's important to me or what bugs me may not bug you, you know. It's, you may think septic, oh, well, that's no big deal. What else you got? Whatever. So, and I'm very meticulous, like you said, in terms of my personal space. There are certain things that like I like to cook. So if the kitchen doesn't have an oven, it's like, whoa. I mean, of course they have ovens here, but let's say, for example, none of the kitchens had ovens. And I'd be like, I don't know if I want to live there because You know, I love to cook and they don't have ovens. So you gotta know yourself, what your things are, and don't be so rigid in your thinking that you aren't willing to make adjustments. Anytime you make a change in life, you're going to have to make adjustments. So, but start early, get a head start, dig in, start listening to stuff, take what people say with a grain of salt, because, like I said, the most important ingredient in the whole decision making process is yourself, you know.
And when I moved down here, I was living with my best friend in Columbus, Ohio, right?
Hmm.
And he thought I was crazy,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah.
And I have another best friend in Columbus, Ohio, Pat Andrews, and me and Greg and Pat got together before I moved down here, and he told Pat, Bill's moving to Mexico. You'll never be able to call him on the phone again. You know,
True, but
I mean, I got Magic Jack. I got a San Francisco phone number. Okay,
right, right.
but people thought I was crazy. What did your family, your friends say about this idea that you had, or
Oh,
what?
that's a good one. Yeah, yeah. It's the same with everybody. You know, when you moving to Mexico, you know, what are you gonna do? Sell drugs? You know, it's like stupid stuff. It's ridiculous, stupid stuff. You know, it's like, yeah, come on, the guys, you guys are stupid. Get a clue. You know, yeah. They thought you gonna do what? Yeah. Here's the thing about that. No one knew until I was in Guadalajara. And so when I started having the conversation, and it's like, well, you know, I'm over here. So automatically they assume, oh, you know, you're on vacation. Not really. I'm moving. I'm already here. What? You know, you did what? You know,
Yeah.
so sometimes it's best just to not let the cat out of the bag until, you know, it's a done deal.
Oh, okay.
Because you'll get resistance. You'll get those, have you really? Is it safe? Is it? I'm
Uh
really not trying to hear all that. So, and I'm not asking for your input. This is my life, my choice. So, here's the deal.
huh.
You know, get on board or don't or whatever. But you know, everybody's cool with it now because you know they know me and you know, say, she's really okay. Well, can I come visit? So
Oh.
yeah, that's always interesting when people make that decision and when they finally start informing friends and family. Yeah, that's a moment.
Ah. Ah. And this isn't on the list, but this came out a little bit in your answer to that, or your response to that last comment I had. But it's like, uh, do you think people that live in the United States, do they have misconceptions about what Mexico is?
Hmm.
Are those misconceptions appropriate? Is there more than cartels and narcos down here? Should people be afraid to come down here? I mean, how much reality is there to that?
Little reality. They do have misconceptions, and it's not all their fault. It's the way that this country is portrayed, and it's wrong, it's incorrect, it's inaccurate, and people just have to stop listening to those negative things and start paying attention to the positive things and doing their own research and learning for themselves what the real truth is. Because this is a wonderful country, you know, and the people are wonderful, they're warm, they're welcoming. Um, it's a wonderful place to be. So all of that BS about, yeah, do those things happen? Yeah. Those elements that they want to amplify, they're here, but they're also in the United States. They're also in Canada and everywhere else in the world. So it's like, wake up, people. You know,
Mm.
it's a big, scary world everywhere. So, but don't think that this country is just like the boogeyman. It's not.
Okay, okay, okay. Now let's talk about money and spending your money here versus spending your money in the United States. That was a huge factor for me. But
Mhm.
what is your experience with that? How does it compare? Your dollar, using your dollars here versus in the United States.
Oh, it's great. I mean, you get so much more for your dollar. And quite honestly, those of us who earn in the USD currency, we're blessed. Let's hope that dollar stays strong. We can continue to.
Uh huh.
But yeah, yeah, definitely. With the conversion rate and everything, your earnings do go further, for sure. No question.
Can you expand upon that a bit? Like maybe talk about your rent, maybe talk about going to the grocery store, maybe talk about going to a restaurant.
Oh, everything is so much better. It's like pennies on the dollar in comparison. A dozen organic eggs, I pay about $3 and some change. Probably in the United States now, I'm not sure. Organic eggs anyway might be $5. A price of a gallon of milk, gas prices. I can sit down and dine and have a nice breakfast, and have a waitress bring my food. Versus, I'm not talking fast food. I'm not talking McDonald's. I'm talking about you sit down, you dine, you have the experience, you have your coffee, you enjoy your juice, you enjoy your omelet and everything for, $10 or less. In the United States, 20 easily and up, and I'm talking after I um, pay the gratuity, the tip to my waitress here. So big difference, big difference. I
Uh,
was in the United States and I had a meal with my coworkers, and once I paid my bill, got home, looked at the receipt, and was like, wow, this is like almost a month of groceries I spent on. I enjoyed the experience, of course, but it's a big difference. Big difference. And also, I have to say, to my brothers and sisters in the United States who in the service business, I mean, you know, service here is much better. It's much better. You know,
okay.
I appreciate those pleasantries. You the subtle things that make you feel warm and welcome. Versus, if I sit down and I'm having a meal, and the wait staff may be a little edgy that day or whatever. I haven't experienced that here.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, on a side note, one thing that sometimes it bothers me, but when you go to eat in a restaurant, we go live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. That's Chicago time, Houston time. And we talk with people from all over the world about living in Mexico, moving to Mexico, Mexico immigration. So join us. Click the subscribe button so that you get notified. You click the little button and you're in with a lot of people having a lot of fun. Please join us. You have to beg them to give you the check.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no
I
rush.
mean, it's like, you eat, you take your time, and then there are some places like taco stands. You might go to a taco stand, and you can just sit there and eat all you want, and nobody
Yeah,
asks you for any money.
Yeah,
I
nobody's
can
rushing.
tell. Yeah, it's wow, how different is that? Because I waited tables for 3 years in the United States, and after people ate, I gave them the check so they could get out. I could get somebody else at the table.
Right, right.
Well, it's not like
Yeah.
that
But
here.
nah, I was like, La Cuenta, por favor, please bring the check.
Yeah. Please, please.
Please, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's great, because I had breakfast. It's been a while now since, because I usually cook at home. But I was sitting there and I was just waiting. I'm like, and I was like the first person that morning. And someone else came in and they sat down and had their breakfast. But I'm just like, okay, I'm done eating now. Cause I'm just a little here. Can I get the check? It was just like you said, it was like, slow.
um, so uh, your your sources of income are kind of strange, and like so you leave the country to do your thing, then you do
Hmm.
some stuff online, but when you're not working,
Hmm.
what do you do to enjoy yourself, or how do you spend your time?
Um, I'm one of these people who I'm very comfortable with myself. So, if I'm home, I just like being home, being relaxed, being in my own space, doing my own thing. I may be watching a movie or reading a book or listening to some music or dancing around by myself. It sounds crazy, but hey, um, I also like going out doing things. If there's something going on, at the lake or, maybe some band's playing or, it's a parade or something or just walking in a park. I mean, it's just free flowing it. Just doing whatever I feel like doing in the moment.
Are there activities to be had in Ahihi? Are there things to do there?
Oh, there's plenty of things to do here. I don't really get out and do a lot of the things that go on here, but there are plenty of things to do here. you know. And I believe you shared in your videos about the Lake Chapala Society that's in Ahihi, and those who come down and want to live here, they can plug into that resource. It's an excellent resource, and they help people to get acclimated to not only living in Ahi, but living in Mexico. So, and then you have bands that come through and play live bands, live music, there's dancing. This is lakeside, so we have the lake, the Malacones. You can walk the Malacones, it's beautiful. You have just people out, just sharing their wares and whatnot. So yeah, it's plenty to do. Plenty to
Okay, okay.
do.
Oh, okay. What is your legal status in Mexico? I have a permanent visa. I've had two-year visas for a while. I would get uh, one of those airport visas, 180-day visa. Every 6 months, I'd have to go back and go back and forth. What is your status right now?
I'm a resident of Mexico, of
You have
Jalisco.
you're a permanent resident?
I'm a temporary resident. I have my temporary resident visa.
How long does that last?
At the end, I have the initial 1 year, and then of course when I renew, I can renew up to 3 years.
And was that process difficult?
No, not for me. I've heard stories, but my process was smooth. Yeah.
How do you get that done? What did you have to do to get that?
I started in the United States. You go to the consulate there, and
To the Mex
you
the Mexican consulate?
correct. You
Okay.
start. You always have to start your process there in your native country. You go there, and of course, people can go online and do the research and understand what is required. It's a monetary, you know, um, process of proving your solvency. So you start there, get your appointment, you have your interview, and once you complete that appointment, you should walk away with your initial visa and your passport, which is it's a two-part process. So it's your part one approval process. Okay, so you get your visa. And then when you come into Mexico, you complete your process here. So part two is completed here. And you get your card and you become a legal resident.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Okie dokie. Okay. Okay. I'm looking at my list over here, folks. Oh, okay. How long do you think you might stay in Mexico?
Um, and before I answer that, I will
Okay.
say
Okay.
I will say that I used your attorney, of course. So yeah, that's why who is excellent. And yeah, so my process was really streamlined because I turned it all over to him, and it was easy peasy. So yes,
uh,
I,
Alvaro.
I
Alvaro.
yes,
He's
I
good.
highly recommend. He is the man.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to be of assistance. He's good.
Yeah, he is very good. So yeah, I will be here another few months. Yeah,
Okay.
uh, yeah, another few
And
months.
and then what are you thinking about? I'll be here another few months. Ooh, that's a mystery answer. What do you what are you thinking about?
I crave coastal. I crave the coast. Um, so I won't let the cat out of the bag yet. I think I've made up my mind. But I crave coastal living. So my initial hesitation was the heat, and but that's what AC is for.
Okay. Yeah, I'm coastal living. I'm thinking about that myself. I mean, there's I mean, you can live on the ocean, lots of seafood, fresh, cheap seafood.
Exactly. Yeah, I love seafood. I love it.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, oh,
And, since
okay,
I've
okay.
been,
Well,
and speaking of that, since I've been here, I've not had any crab legs. I don't even know where to get crab legs here.
oh, king crab legs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just a tip. Have you been to Super Lake yet?
Yes, I have. I
Okay.
have been.
If you're standing and looking at Super Lake right in front of Super Lake, if you're standing right in front,
Mm,
and then if you turn to the right and just walk, I think it's like two or three storefronts. There's
mhm.
a small fish shop right there.
Oh, okay. And they have it?
And they, oh, yeah, sometimes they'll have them there ready, but if they
Mm-hmm.
don't have them, just say, I want king crab legs, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they'll give you a card and they will deliver them to your house.
Are you serious?
Yes, that's what they told me. They said, "Oh, you want them? We can have them to you in 24 hours."
Wow. Now I'm gonna
Yeah,
check that
yeah,
out.
yeah. But there you go. There's the king crab legs. Okay. Okay. So is there anything that you like most about living in Ajijic thus far?
I like the peacefulness of it, at least where I am. I've heard other people comment on noise levels and things like that. But where I'm at, because I'm in the West, it's very peaceful here. It's pretty, it's beautiful. The weather's wonderful, except now it's warm. It's like, oh, it's too warm. But other than that, no, it's wonderful. It's one, and I'm right off the bike trail, so I just step right out of here, walk right out the gate, and you know, I'm on the bike trail. So that's lovely.
Okay, okay. And do you speak Spanish?
I'm learning. I'm
Okay.
learning. Yeah, I'm learning. Um, I took Spanish in college, but God, that's been so long ago, and I have not been practicing. So I am learning. Yeah, I'm building slowly building up my vocabulary. So I want to get a one-on-one teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but before I commit to that, I want to first commit to consistency. And so I've been better at it lately because so far I'm like on a 76-day streak of consistency with every day, I'm practicing. Um, so once I establish that behavior and that, level of consistency, then I want to bring in like a teacher so I can get more conversational. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The funny thing about living in Mexico, if you don't speak really good Spanish, but you study it,
Hmm. Hmm.
and when you first get here, you're walking down the street and people are talking blah blah in Spanish, right? Blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah, and you don't understand anything, right?
And it's fast. And it's fast. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
fast, fast. But the more you study and the more you practice, one day you walk down the street and people say things and you understand, and it freaks you out. It's like, I understood that.
Right.
I know what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
And it's a beautiful thing too, because when you start to really hear it, like you said, and you're picking up on it, it's like the light comes on. It's like, and instead of you, because you initially it's like that resistance, like, oh, this is gonna be too hard, I'm never gonna. And then once it starts to seep in, and it just starts to open you up to it more and more. And so, and then you start to crave it, like, yeah, I want to learn more,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty
Ah.
cool.
So I saved the challenging question for last. Okay, we talked
Uh-oh.
about this yesterday.
Oh, that one.
Uh-oh.
I forgot
That,
about that.
oh, I saved that for last because some people don't want to even think about this, but
Of course.
uh, I find uh, uh, being a black person from the United States living in Mexico is a totally different experience. It's how do you find the difference? You being a black woman or a black anything, do you notice a difference in Mexico versus the United States as far as people identifying you as a black person and what goes with that in the United States versus Mexico?
Okay. Yeah. So that's the loaded question. Save the best for last. Well, first of all, I don't really compare because I have a different mindset about that in terms of who I am as an individual. I don't really feed too much into the BS of other people. Um, Unfortunately, that BS is everywhere in every nook and cranny of the earth, unfortunately, because at all times you have this duality of good and bad. Okay. And so there is no escaping it. I don't care who you are or what race you are. Those people, and we all know who they are, um, they're here. I've walked past them on the bike trail. If I go to Taiwan, I'll most likely run into them. So there's no escaping that. In terms of the differences in the countries, oh God, it's a big difference because as a whole, and people are the reason for any of this crap, okay? So, but as a whole, I have to give credit to my brothers and sisters in Mexico who are doing it differently. Yeah, they have differences amongst themselves. We all do. You know, every group, every category, every culture has its differences, you know, within itself. So I look at it in terms of, okay, let's just be frank about, okay, we're talking United States here. We're going to leave Canada alone for now. We're just talking about the United States. We're talking about Mexico. I'm not pleased with the direction of my home country right now in terms of how people are relating to one another, how people are treating one another, all the BS and crap that's going on. In Mexico, it's like I said at the beginning. I love it. I appreciate it. I embrace it. Um, it resonates with me of how they more so they live in the now, not the past, not the future. And they value relationships, they value family, they value friendships. You know, that part they have right. In the United States, people value stuff more than they value one another. Is the you get more of that messaging than you do the more important things, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So to each their own. But those are just a few of my thoughts.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Let, let's leave it alone. Okay. But off the top of my head, I'm gonna say if you're black and you can work online and you come on down here, your life will be so different in a positive fashion, and you
Definitely.
won't believe it, and you won't believe it, and you'll ask yourself, why did I wait another minute to leave?
Exactly, exactly. So if you know, to pinpoint what you just said, I agree 100%. Yeah. Or if we want to just talk about black people, you know, hey, come on down. You'll be glad you did.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Well, Terri, I want to thank you so much for your time and your information, and I hope that people watch this video uh, and say, huh, she did it. Look at her. She's happy. She's living in a
Yeah,
brand new country. I think maybe I can do that too. I,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I encourage it. I mean, you know, don't come down here with the wrong mindset now. Don't leave, you know, certain things there. Yeah. But absolutely, come on down. You know, I think those that decide to make the move, that they will be glad they did. You're gonna have to make some adjustments. You know, don't think that things work the same here as they do where at home. You know, there are differences, and so just relax. It's gonna be okay. You're not, you know, it's not bad, but they will have to make some adjustments, but in a good way, not a bad way, you know.
okay. All right. I'm going to thank you again, Terri, and we'll uh, once you leave Ahiheek and we know where you are, we'll catch up with you again and see
Yeah,
how that went. But again, I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and this is my friend Terri. And I'm gonna thank her again. And adios, Terri, and have a great time in Ahiheek.
gracias, adios.
Adios, adios. Thank you, Terri, so much for sharing your time with us and all the things that you went through to get to Mexico and moving from Guadalajara to Ajijic. Thank you so much. And viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for clicking the like button. And I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we will see you in the next video.